I bow down and my cat wakes up and goes, "Meow." Kitty. What's up, Kitty? She can probably squeeze through one of those holes. What's up, Kitty? I'm going to start when somebody shows up. Maybe they'll forward the video, eh? You like that? You like that? Hold on a second. How are we? Can't see that right. Hold on a second. How you doing, Kitty? You're going to start the video soon. You'll fast forward it to when I start. Right now, I'm just patting the kitty, eh? You like that, kitty? You like that when I do your ear, right? Who are you? Who are you that you consider 16 hours a day? How special are you? Eh? How are you psychologically? Tell me, what is your rational thinking? How do you think? You know, I'm not good at really describing anything, right? I'm sort of like water in water. I just fit right in. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's so hard for the Libra to make certain decisions, and the balance is unbalanced because there's a balance everywhere. I mean, how am I supposed to start this video? Right? The cat likes it, I think. If she didn't like it, she'd run away, right? Somebody can say I'm a little too rough. Yeah, I think I'm a little too rough. What are you doing, eh? The rougher, the better? Why do the cats like it like that? I mean, I can just do it soft, right? Yeah, you want it soft? Or you want it nice and rough? What would you like? Tell me. Oy, 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 oy. You feeling that good vibration, 420? Hey, you feeling that good vibration, 420? It's not the name of the cat. Maybe I'll call her 420, but you know why 420? Because she is the division of the house. Her numeric value for cat, T is a gateway. And the @ sign, right? The email at, what email are you at? What is your address? At blank.com, eh? What's your address? What's your address? How do I stop doing this to you, eh? What's your address at blank.com? So CAT is 312. And when you add up 1 through 20, right? 1 through 20 equals to what is 21, right? 1 through 20. But you're counting the ace as 11. Anytime you pass a certain number, the ace is valued, okay, at 11. It is also valued at 1 in the game of blackjack. So in life, can I see it as AK, ace king, ace king, 9 and 41. The A1 and the K is 11. Now the ace, right, in the game of blackjack, black 29, jack 25. The total, right, is 7 come 11. 25, 2 and 5, 7. 29, 2 and 9, 11. So it's 7 come 11. And in the game of craps, on these two cubes, they are exactly what is 7 come 11. Putting the 6 faces together. How so? For those who are new here are 9 area spaces, or here are 9 colors that we see. Now, if I take this and I use this as a guide, and I see 5 dots, every single dot goes into its own area space. I see 5. Where are the 5? On the extremities. So I'm going to take out 5 of these. How many are left? 4, because every side has 5 and 4, 9. The entirety of connecting together the measurements between 2 and 8, between 2 and 8, 10, between 4 and 6, 10, between 7 and 3, 10, between 9 and 1, 10. The star, between 8 and 2, 10. Everything is a 10. So if I'm in the house of 10, I'm in the house of 1020 one way, 1020 the other way. Star system. When you connect 2 and 8 together, and you connect 4 and 6, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, it sounds like I'm going quick because I don't want to forget. That's one scenario. Your next scenario, okay, is can be this scenario where it's 1 and 9 coming together, 4 and 6, and 2 and 8 coming together. You know the Tesla vortex, right? We can implement that in this, and you can actually see that if you want, or see that. See the way one is going to one side, the other is going to the other side. 88. 8 and 8 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. 8 times 8 is 60 is 64. 16, 64. I think there's a drink, or 1994. The king and the gateway. 8 times 8 is 64, and 6 and 4 is 1, and that's your Q gate, right? You're on and you're off through what is this position over here. Now the question is, we can turn this calculator in different ways. We can use the pad, we can use the telephone, and number 1 is not here. I'm using the telephone and the ATM, but I'm not using the ATM, because if I did, these two letters would be over here. 88. How so? How is that possible? These two, Q and Z, are removed from the ATM machine, and they're put on the number 1. Where 1, 2, 3, 4, actually this is number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but the letters start over here. So we only have a section of 8. With gematria, right? With Chaldean, we end. Sorry, let's not look at the circled ones. Okay, we're going to look at the other ones, and don't forget there's a 0 also on the telephone, right, and on the ATM, and we're going to understand that as the first 2 planets. It's almost like it's this planet here, and there was a planet before, right over here, and this is Venus that shows up over here where the 0 is. Venus here, Venus here. Somehow we slide over to this number 9, and we work 1 through 14. No, oh, sorry, 9. Sorry, 9 through 11. Through 11 over here. 10, 11, the 11th position. 1 and 1, 2, 1 and 1, 2, 1 and 1. The ace is also to be 1, and the ace is playing from this position here. So in blackjack, also another thing to say is that if you have the ace, right? If you have a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? You're going to use it. You're going to use it as 11 automatically. If okay, if a 5 comes out and you have a 5, you have 21. If a 6, 7, 8, or 9 come out, right? If this is in your hand, ace in one of these numbers over here, it's going to be 11 in its realm. Because, sorry. If you have one of these, when you have a 9 that comes out, you will be pulling another card. If you have an 8 that comes out, you'll be pulling another card. Why? Ace 5 is 16. Ace 6 is, Ace 4 is 15. Ace 3 is 14. Ace deuce is 13. And ace is 12. You cannot use them as both. So in this scenario, use it as 12, but it's ace and ace. So if it's ace and ace, it's noted to be also 6688. Why is it 6688? Because the reverse of 1 is 6. And where is ace 11? Ace 11 can be noted in 2 different scenarios. One, you'd have to be using the other side of the dice, right? And when you call ace 11, you're calling on the student because you're bringing together creation. 12, 1 and 2, although it looks like this, it also looks like 12, 1 and 2. Because if it was spoken to somebody and you don't see them, what do you have? 1 and 2. Oh, you got a 12. I got a 1 and a 2. I got a 3. But 1 and 2 is 3. 12. Ace, ace. So when you're in the game of blackjack, one of the things that goes on, and this is, I'm just gonna explain what I'm doing. I'm showing you what happens. We just so happen to fall on this element I'm talking about besides the stars, is when you have an ace, any one of these, you pull another card, because the rules of the game, right, is don't go over, try to get as close to 21, but we're going to play a perfect game. So we see what's exactly going on. They gave us back the game, but it was already created, right? They were actually choosing their cards to go. When you hook up plumbing, it works because you chose the right parts. They fit together. You just didn't throw it. So it's the same thing with numbers. Although in blackjack, they're separating 52 cards. Why don't they flip all the cards over and take your choice? First, they'll deal you the cards, and then you'll take the choice. If your right card, when you're playing 52 cards, if one of your cards happens to be there to make you 21, great, right? But you don't get to pick the first 2 cards. You don't get to pick your parents. So now what happens now is, if you have this, right, the 4, if you have, let me hold on a second, 5, 15, 1 second, ace 5 is 16, right? 5, 4, this will be 4, hold on a second, this will be 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So you have an ace 5, an ace 4, an ace 3. So when you have an ace 3, you want the 7 to come. So 7 and 3 come together. We don't have to count the ace. Let's look at the ace as something like this. And now we're going to connect these 2 together. And then we're going to put the video cassette reel into them when we put them together. There's your ace. DVD, your ace coming together. And there's your E-World tape, winding and rewinding. Now, where is it going next? I don't know. It's usually going to loop and come back again. And then where's all your information going to end up? I don't know. Can it be in one of the hemispheres? See the way I curve it here? And I curve it over that area over here. This is like a video cassette, a Betamax or something. So yeah, when this one comes over here, AA, you get a 9. Usually you'll split them depending on what the dealer has. But anyways, you get a 9, you have 21. So this is where your birth comes in. It comes, you see the birth comes in, but usually you're splitting these. And you're looking for 2 10s or 2 monkeys is what they call them. Monkey, ape, 25, 30, 41, king, mun or monkey or moon, 14, 27, 37, 42, 83, monkey, creation in the heavens, 22, ape. 422s is 88. This is our life creation, 2 times 2, 2 plus 2. And ape, go. Venus, 81 and 54, the sun. The IT system. Where do I get all this information from? Go is 7 and 15. Ape is 1, 16 and 5, 22. Now, if you say go, these in pool, this is the spirit of 76 and the moon. The mathematics is 1 times 5, so now we have 7 and 5, and 1 plus 5 equals 7 and 6. But when it's a 7 and 6, right, we're going to create it over here. When it's a 7 and 5, we're going to create it over here. This one is the Earth, and this one is Mars. One of the reasons is because Mars numeric value is 51, and Earth numeric value is 52. Sorry, I have to go 3. I have to go on 2 of these lines. So this is number 2. Now the question is it 2 divided like that? 2 dots? Are we looking at 2 dots and 1 dot? How are we looking at it? How are we looking at our 1 and 2? How come we can't do Earth and Mars? The only way to do Earth and Mars is to have the 2 straight lines, the 3 straight lines. Either it's these 2 for Earth with Mars added in, or it's these 2 for Earth with Mars added in. Also noting that if it's a 5 and it was a Roman numeral, I would have to do this, meaning I'm joining this stick with this stick, both number 4 and number 6, joining at the shamus. See the M letter, what it's doing? It's now connecting to both sides. It comes out here. It goes up. It's giving it into here. I don't know exactly how this should be working, but then, and at the same time, this has its own moon on it. We're going to call this Luna. We're going to call this one over here Demas. And we're going to call this one over here Phobos. The moons of Mars. So when it's in blackjack, over here is where we have the gateway. And over here, the 13 and 14 is where the alphabet splits between the heavens and the gates. Noted that in the deck of cards, the 4, 6, 7, and 8 are 6 elements that are all the same in suits. And then the 8 and 7 have 2 and 1 difference, just like 1 and 2 moons and Venus and Mercury, the first and second planets. Noted that 13 is the first teen, and it's the first 4 and the next 4, and then the first 1 and 3, 4, 1 and 4, 5. This one creates 5 for the IT system. It'll go on the numeric value for the sun. This one over here will create DC 3443. Also hot and cold. The reason for hot and cold is because the numeric value for hot and cold is 34 and 43. And yes, there's a whole lot of other slew of words. These are the ones I'm primarily working with. One day, let's get this on a big system. And so when you have the 6, this is where it all stems out. It's the 6 that comes in within the 7 and the 8. So where do you have the 6? On Mars. And where do you have the 5? The E world. Now the E world, the 5, is a creation of 1 times 2, 1 plus 2. So your original number will create this 5. The 5 is 3 up and 2 down. The letters of the word are RAM, RAM. Where do I get that? RAM is number 32. Mars is number 32 plus the 19, where AI come into the game. Number 16 or number 91 or number 61 for church, 91 for spirit. The E world, what happens over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 and 2 equals to what is this? Is where it begins at the gateway. It never leaves here, but it's at the gateway. And the gateway is never without 6, because on the cube, it is the only number that is the complete invert that will create the number 7. So 6 is never anywhere without 1. And in Venus, it is not anywhere that without Venus and Mars, Venus, which is the creation of Mars, to where the one spirit resides. You see that? And always ignited in 6. But 6 has no life. 6 must come into the E world in order to live. Yo 11, that is the student. The numeric value for 11 is 63. And in order to create that 63, you got to go 7 by 7 equals to 14. 7 plus 7 equals to 49. And the total is 63. And guess what? 45. Birth out of the sun and the moon. Moon 57. Bi, right? Single moon. 2 births that come in. IR, 2 letters combination, reverse, INR, reverse of each other. They are your reduction alphabet. What I mean by reduction alphabet is that I and R are the reverse of each other. There's in between over here, there's 9 letters and then 9 letters. Did I get, hold on a second. In between I and R, there are 9 letters. In between what is the beginning and I, there's 7 in between. And then between I and R over here, there are, did I get that right? 8 in between. JKLMNOPQ.
And then between R and A, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. And then the ninth one is A. So it's 788 are the numbers. That's the separation. And it's the same thing over here, except what numbers are they? Because the number before R is 8, and the number after I is 1. And it's ironic that there's one dot in the center of this cube with 8 around it. Now, if I do it after that, we have the R, okay, over here, and we're going to have number 19S, which 1 and 9 is 10, 1 plus 0 is 1, and we start over again. And when we come to A again, before we touch A, okay, we are going to have 8 because it's going to be Z. So it's going to be 1, 8, 1, 8, 1, 8, which follows I and R, which is part of what is the sun system. This is what they call the Third Reich, right? Resh, the 18th letter. In Hebrew, it's the 20th because it is the gateway. It is the gateway to 66. Only because when I was little and I drew the number R, when somebody drew the R, I always looked at it as 12. 12 and 13. So we have 8. Now, if I did the S through H, and I'm going to finish with this in a minute, but if I did S through H, after S is 2. And before H is 7. And after H is 9. And before S is 8. Did I get that one right? Yeah. So in this one, I'm going to be talking about all the faces that come after H to heaven. And in this one over here, why is it 8? Because the letter that comes, sorry, I think I made a mistake. Wow, I can't believe I made that mistake. It's QRS. So R is here, it's number 9. And then after H is number 9. So when I see 99, I have to go to the words, and it's Jupiter. Jupiter and 13, 2 words that equal to the total of 99. But there's more to it because there's odd letters and there's even letters. And not only that, roulette tells me if I place my numbers up against the roulette wheel, okay, not in the center, just the first 26, A is red and B is black. The odd are red and the even are black, except number 10 and number 28. See, 28, yes, you can see it. 2 plus 8 equals 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. So you went with 2 digits. Well, what about 10? 1 plus 0 is 1, and it's 10. So we have odd numbers again. Why are they black? Well, 19, 2 odd numbers. And 19 is red. 1 plus 9 is 10. It turns black. And 1 plus 0 is 1. But it remains red. So 1 and 19 are red, and 10 and 28 are black, which equals to 10, 28, 38, and 1 and 19, 20. So 20 is a gateway. So through 1 and 9, it's a gateway. What kind of power gateway, I don't know. So what I want to say is that 99, 13, where the T and H, it's not like we can go 13th, right? 13th. It's like the only one where you're going to say TH, begin with TH and end with TH. And every single letter is giving you a position. It's telling you something where it is based on its alphabetical art, like in the gematria, how I use gematria. I do this, or I do this, and then I go over, and then I can go down and up again, or I'll go like this. It's questionable how it's to be done, and I hope I don't forget my spot, but I don't want to go over anything. I just want to show you it. Here's one part of it. Here's another part of it. Hold on a second. I want to show you here, this. You see this? Now look inside of this image. Take a look, right? They're here. See, it's over here and over here and over here. And I should have put the other ones connected on the top. We have to put it all the way around because there's an area of voided space over here. I'm not sure if this is headquarters or this is the run headquarters, and all this outside here is area space in which you can see it here and here. Now here's a one base of the form. Looks like the Canadian flag. So I go up, I go down, I go over, I go up, I go down. Or what I do is I go up, not all the way here. I go up to here, the halfway area. You notice the square, and then this square becomes a rectangle. And then you have the 6 areas at the end for your pool table. Noting that the pool table right over here, the corner pockets, the side pockets are connected to another island. To see the way that everything is connected to the islands. There's one here, one here, one here. So we're connected to this one is 126. This is 226. This is 326. This is 4, 5, 6 26s before we create our first space, right? We need the top and the bottom. We have the 4 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we either use the 2 at the top or the 2 at the bottom. We're only allowed to use 3 rows at a time. 3 rows and 1 row. That's the cycle. So this would be what would happen in here, right? I'm not finished with the numbers in the center. What would happen in here is you have number 1. Then you have, you see it ends here. Then over here, you have number 3. And then over here, you have 5. And then over here, you have number 7, right over here. And then where's 2, 4, 6? Well, 2, 4, 6 overlaps 1 and 3. Overlaps 3 and 5, and overlaps 5 and 7. You see, it's number 6 and 6 here and here that are overlapping number 7. Right now, how did I? Oh, numbers. I have 7 here. Let me see this again. 1, 3, 5. Okay, 7 is this one over here. These 2 dark ones are 66. See the way they touch, right? And the minute they touch, you start to create. Not the window. There is no marking here or here. What happens is number 8 goes over here. Okay, number 8 goes over there. So 6 covers 8. So when you take 2 cubes out, right, you have 8, and over it is 51. 1 through 5 equals to 15. 2 through 6 equals to 20. One through 5 equals to 15. 2 through 6 equals to 20. Now 1 through 15 equals to 120, and 20 through 1 equals to 210. This one would end up to be the pool table. This one would end up to be the darts. One of them would be AO. The other one would be, just 1 second. What's up? Okay, go ahead. I have 1 minute. I'll take a break for a second. Yeah. That was the smoking room, wasn't it? Oh, okay. That was the right. Just give me okay. Auditorium. And I'm happy you said that. Auditorium. Oh my God, you just helped me with a word too. Also, wow. Auditorium, and it's just so crazy. Just as you called, I'm writing down the words AO. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Gold. It's in first. It's the place you go first. It's for the entertainment. AU is gold. Okay. Ciao. Sorry about that. Ciao. Wow, that was unbelievable. Auditorium. So now I'm seeing referendum. I'm seeing something to do with the sky, something to do Taurus, something to do with automatic, something to do with gold. So when I added up 1 to 5 and 2 to 6, that's only the first dimension of of building. 2 through 6, 1 through 5. So I built something. I learned something. I know 1 through 5 equals to 15. I know 2 through 6 equals to this. You can never have more than 5 without 1 being in the complete opposite other direction. If you had a triangle, I know what all 6 of them are. And if you're only seeing the face, I can read around the side. I know what the face is, so I automatically know the 5 is on the bottom. What has been stamped out in this world, that is engraved in those who participate in the realm, like dice. Have you ever used a dice? Have you ever observed the dice cube? Have you ever observed the calculator? Did you ever try and organize a calculator? The Mayan run their cycle in 1 and 6. Well, we run the 1 day of God to the 6 days of man creation, to the 6 points of the touchdown, to the 1 point of the field goal, to the 3 points of the extra points, because 1 and 2 comes with 3. And how does it come in through the foot? Is it because it's the sole, or is it because of the 5 toes, or is it because you have 1 foot in the game, 1 foot out of the game? Is a foot 12 inches? Is a foot 12 inches and how many centimeters? And then at the opposite side of the calendar, the Mayan, they use 7 and 6, 13. They also use 9 and 4, where Mars comes into birth, where the gateway comes into life. I always use 6 as life or light. I don't know why. It takes 3 times 2 to create 6. It takes 1 and 5 to create 6. 3 and 3 to create 6. 2 and 4 to create 6. 1 and 5 to create 6. So you use all these numbers here to create 6. And what's funny is that 1 times 6 is 7. 1 plus 6. 1 plus 6 is 7. 1 times 6 is 6, and 7 equals to 13. 6 times 7 is 42. 1 minus 6 is 5. So once you start adding them, you can see the way everything fits together with 6. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to take you back to where I was. Hold on a second. I may have lost it. Okay, it was over here. And we had 99. The inside of this was 27. The outside was 99. So check what's happening now, because it's telling a true story, that when you have 2 over here, right? When you have 2, you have 7 over here passing, right? You're running always with 2. There's always, when you look at these dice cube, right? This is the only one where you use 6. There's 2 empty spaces. Every other one on here has 4 empty spaces. There are 4 empty spaces on 5 sides of the cube. Okay, and that is going to give you a total of 20 T. So if you're starting to count down T minus, and then on one side, okay, of the cube, you only have 2 empty spaces. Empty spaces. And this is empty spaces also. Empty on 5 sides. Empty on one side. 1 and 5 comes together. Everything keeps really. And here we get our number 22. But there's more than 22 empty spaces, because I just want to make sure I got this right. 5 sides of 4. Right. Right. Okay. And when there's 5 sides of 4, this side that has 4 missing, okay, also has 3 missing. Where are they missing? I'm missing down here. These 3 here. I'm missing these 2 here, 2, 4. And then on 5 sides, 2, 4. But there's also the 4 corners also missing.
So the 1 is missing 4 and 4. 1 dot, 4 and 4 void, which it's 1, 3, 7, 1, 3. Let me do that. We have 1, 3, 7, and 9, and 2, 4, 6, and 8. Where do I get these numbers from? I get them right from here because it's set up the same way it is over here. So where were we with this? Let me not lose my page. So when we use the reverse alphabet of S and H, like I said, to the left of S is R equaling 9. To the right is I equaling 9. These two are what is next to this. When you write words and you see two letters next to each other compared what the letters do. Inside is 2 and 7. So like I said, with this cube over here, there are 2 here and 7 on the inside, and what's outside is 9 and 9, Jupiter 13. I can use another letter. So when you have 15, ace and 5, ace and 4, if you just showed up and don't know what this is a thing about blackjack and what the numbers say in blackjack. The numbers say in blackjack that when you have 2 aces, you're normally splitting them. You're going to use the ace, you can use it as a low card, but then we're going to start, it gets too long, the explanation. So when you get ace, ace, anything under a 6, okay, you're going to have 15, you're going to have 16, 15, 14, 13. Ace is valued at 11. Now 11,
okay, is a numeric value 63. It's created by the mathematics 7 times 7, 7 plus 7. 11 equals to the numeric value 6 and 3. 6 and 3 equals to 9. It is 911, 1 in the word and 1 in the number. The mathematics of this will create 6 and 5, 11. But in blackjack, it's worth 16. So when you pull a 5, you come into the E world, you get 21. This is all about creating 2 and 1. You start at 12 and you want to get 21. That's what it's in between, 12 and 21. 16, you want the E world. When you have 14, you want the 6. You need the light. You need to come into the gateway. You need the birth. 3 and 4 are polarities with each other. And the beginning of pi is 14 and 15 as well. In the light and spirit is 76, 1 times 6, 1 plus 6 are the numbers that you need. So you need the star system, because I had to multiply and add to get this numeric value, and it comes from number 16. It comes from when the E world comes in. Here's number 7. 1 and 5 equals to 6. 1 and 6 equals to 7. You need a 5. 1 and 5 equals to 6. You need a 6. 16, 1 and 6, 7. 7 and 5 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. When the 15 it comes in, 1 and 5 is 6. You have 6 and 6. In this one, you have 7 and 5, the moon. Here you have 6 and 6. You're connecting the gateway. Here you have 5 and 7. Again, you're connecting the moon. But 5 connects up over here. When you have 13, 1 and 3 is 4. 4 is not on this board. When you have 1 and 2, 3, 3 is not on this board. Again, another polarity inside ace, deuce, and AA. And this is where the 9th birth comes in, the king and the queen, the 9th birth into the heavens of the sun gate. From Mars, passing through the moons. 14 and 16, the 2 moons. 3 and 5 come together. And they also use that numeric value for the payout in roulette. The next thing, what I want to do is I'm going to be taking a 1-minute break, putting on the music and setting up for the second part. Even though there's nobody here, I still want to do this. Yeah, okay, just give me a minute. I'm pointing you up to the sky. Just one sec. I'm taking a 5-minute break. I'm taking a 5-minute break. 5-minute break.
There's a guy named George or Nuri or Jim Nuri, and something to do with the moon. I forget what I was telling my friend the story. I'd have to listen to it again. But oh yeah, Mississippi. Mississippi is one MISS. The letter M is Federation. It also connects two moons in three different worlds. And I'm not sure if I showed you that design. It's the design of the light. Hold on a second. I got so many things going on. Give me a minute. Okay, I don't find it here. Give me this book. I shouldn't be writing in 10 books at once. Well, it's almost like lighting up all the chandelles. Let me just show you a little bit of what it should look like. We have a light bulb, right? And there's the light bulb is like this, right? And then it's these two are pulled in on strings. This is a pillar, and this is a pillar, and this is a pillar. This is the center pillar. This goes around the center, and then it goes around it. It's not touching it. It goes around it. And then it lights up. So these are my two pillars. Let's call this. And then up here, so I call this moon, and these are the Mars moons based on Venus. And this is the Earth moon based on Mercury. So since it's the Earth moon based on Mercury, the Mercury will go with Mars. And Mars is the fourth planet, and Mercury is the first planet. And Venus is going to go with Earth. And this is the second planet, and this is the third planet. 4 and 1, 5, 2 and 3, 5. And at the end of the equation, they both create 11, 11, except this one is another step. 6, 5 is a step behind 5, 4, where 55 come together and 46 are the inverts of each other. It wouldn't make a difference. 46, 46, 64, 46, empty out the pen. And then in the center of the pen, they put a bar in it. They pull it up, the pen can turn. They push it down, the pen can't turn. Or it can turn this way, whichever way you want it to turn through the pull, right? Spinning really, really quick. I'm just trying to think where else I am with Mars. Yeah, I wanted to get something in the kitchen for a minute. I'm a little hungry, so just give me 1 second. I feel like I'm going fast again, you know? Give me 1 minute. I think I'm going to put some lemon in my, I think it should be lime, no? It's going to take another minute. I'm going to tell you what time I begin at.
Give me a minute. I'm just having a little biscuit. Okay, let's see where we are with this. Okay. So we're going to end a piece I just worked on here with blackjack. And I'm going to skip one page forward. Do I have another page in here? I have to go get another book. It is the 17th, St. Patty's Day. It's the day of Q. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to move these over. But I'm going to do the reverse alphabet. And we're going to start, let's say, we're going to start with C. The reverse alphabet for C is X. So C3, 24X. 6 and 3. This is the bottom level. This is the 0 level. The reason there's only 1. 1 stems out from the center. 2 is on the outside. That's the way I always look at 2. What about 1? What is 1? 1 would be the 1 dimension. 2 would be the 2 dimension. Did I say that right? Okay, I think we're going to have to skip over that part. So this is the reverse alphabet. So to the left of C is B2. To the right of C is D4. To the left of X is W. How can I do 23, 5. So inside of here, this is what we have. We have 4 and 5 living inside C and X. The IT system birth. I'm going to explain that to you. And also the letters that go along with this are L, O, E, V. Leo, VO. Just like in Scrabble, you don't have to use all the letters together. But one of the letters here is love. Right over here. Birth, creation of the sunlight. To the right of the letter is the 25, 7. And to the left of the letter is B2. So you're in the house of bait. I'm just going to use 2 cubes, put one here, and put the other one here. And inside is 7 areas. That's in your house of bait, where you have 7 areas. You have the number 2 here, and you have the number 2 here. Now, where are these letters? They're every single letter except for these 2. Over here. 3, 4, 5, and here is number 6. Now, it happens more than once in the alphabet. Now, if you wanted, do you follow what I'm saying? Because it becomes reduced to a single digit, 5, right? But now if you use it to a whole digit, what you're going to get here is you're going to get D4 to W23, and you're going to get 5 and 22, 4 and 21. Did I get that right? 4 and 21. I'm going the wrong way. That's my thing. I'm going backwards. Hold on a second. 6 and 21, 7 and 20, 8 and 19, 9 and 18, 10 and 17, 11 and 16, 12 and 15, 13 and 14. This is where the alphabet splits, right over here. This is the alphabet split. And these, I don't like that I wrote it this messy. But now on the outside of that, okay, those are these letters. The letters that are not here, this is where, what the letters is? Oh yeah, this is X, 24, and C3. So when you go this way, you're going to end up with Y and Z, and then we're going to go, it goes Y, Z, Y in the 9th position. And then we'd end up with A. So Y is going to have to connect that, making it the 27 letters in the alphabet. And this Rubik's Cube here, there are only 26 of these blocks. The center area is a spindle that controls the 6 centers. This cube is made up with 48 and 6, where there's 12 times 3 colors, and there's 12 times 2 colors, and there's 8 times 3 colors. CH. Hold on a second. I want it to go slower. C and X. 24, 3. Rubik's Cube. We have Rubik's Cube. So we have 27 blocks. We have one spindle. Okay, that holds 6 colors. Then we have 8 corners that have 3 colors. Then we have 12 in the inside. Okay, that hold 2 colors. It spins 3 different ways, like the NASA, like, you know, NASA. So we're going to go Mona Lisa, limousine NASA. And by the way, when you don't write these, when you write these improper for a child, it looks like 5 and 2. So this total over here will be 6, will be 24, and will be 24. Now there's an association. Remember, one spindle, where 1 goes. What is number 1? We say there's 1 here, but the 1, 6 is connected down here. The 1 and 6, the touchdown, and you get to have the converts. Now, if these were all empty spaces, and the reason for empty spaces is because we're going to use, we're going to use 3 areas. See, all these are cells, right? So we're going to use 3 areas, and then we're going to use another 3 areas. And in creating the 3 and 3 areas, we end up with an empty space here, an empty space here, and an empty space here. But if you count all the areas, there's 3 here, there's 1 here, and there's 3 here. That's 7. Now there's 1 here, and there's 1 here, and that's your total of 9. This is your Venus. This is your 2, 3 cube. The 2 empty spaces. It's the only way it shows. And then in this one, it's showing you 3 empty spaces, or it's showing you 3 empty spaces, and these are actually holes. The empty spaces in the holes. So either you're seeing the void or the Holy Ghost, and these are actually holes, and there's nothing there. There's something here, but there's nothing there. Here it's white. Here it's black. There's no energy in the black. So what is it in the white? Is it a mist? Is it water? Anyways, this is more ivory. So we're going to get back to the alphabet because I wrote it messy. I still want to explain this. That the value that's inside of what is C is D4. And the value that's inside here is W. I'm putting the numbers. I should put this on top, eh? I don't want to mix it up. No, I'm gonna leave it this way. Is 23. But 23 has a value, a single digit to 5. So there's actually nothing in between. They're together, they're locked. But at the same time they're locked, what is locked inside of them? And what's locked inside of them is every single letter working up to this. And that would be E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. Let's not do it this way. Hold on a second. Um, Let me do it a different way. I just want to show you a better way. E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, whoop, W. And I stop here. So now I have an understanding of what values go in every single position and what I used. If I use this one over here, it's total of 35. It's also the 13th and the 22nd letter. If I go over here, it's the 15th and the 6th letter. 1 and 5, 6, 6. 1 and 3, 4. 2 and 2, 4. Recomposition what's inside. Now, if I go to the other side of the alphabet, I'll be going B2 over to Y25. So I'll be going in between, or I'll be using all this to the outside. On this side, it is between D and W. And to this side, it's between B and Y. But we're not going B to Y this way. We're expanding out. We're going actually Y over to B or B over to Y, but on the outside because we can't go in between C and X because they're polarities of each other. So we're going to go, and what we're going to get over here is we're going to get Y, Z, and then we're going to go Y, A, B. I can go and put A over here in the Y position. That's a question. Do I just start the alphabet over again where we end up with A1? I mean A9. So I question it. I put YZY as I was told as the 25th and the 27th area space, 7 and 9. And what's ironic about that is that on the telephone, let me see if I have this here, that on the telephone, the 7 and the 9, okay, have 4 letters, but nobody else has 4 letters, only the 7 and the 9. And it's ironic that on the ATM, it has 2 letters, the Q and the Z. But on the telephone, the Q and the Z are here. So they removed on the ATM the Q, and the ATM says PRS. And over here it says WXY. The total is 72 instead of 98. It's now in the house, instead of in the high house, it's in the house of Bait, in the Beta Gates. Bill G8. And in this one over here, what was once 70 value is now 53. Electric company. Instead of creation through Mars. 3 plus 7 is 10. 1 plus 0. Sorry, this one over here is going to be 31. Or 13, whichever way you want. The reason for that, what I do is I bring back to the primary source, number 1, the center. Because it's the center. You're the center at the 360 degrees. You live in the area space, the void. Sorry, well, I use that as a void. You live in the dark hole. You feel the energy in the dark hole. You bring it the light, showing me over here in the 6. It's the only one that gets enlightened. It's the only 7. When the 1, 6 come together, it's the only 7 on a cube. All the other ones are fake 7s. 5, drill a hole, you get the same holes. So why is it 31? Because what I do is I need to bring it to be a value of each one 10. 7 plus 3 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 5 and 5 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. Every single one of these numbers, okay, are going to turn into 11. All two numbers turn into 11. A single number turns back into 1 again. And a single number. So when you have 7 and 3 is 10, 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 and 0 is 1. This is one of the reasons for Kansas City, the Wizard of Oz. OZ, 77. 88 is F&P, the spirit of the half-life of the light of 6. I don't know the actual story yet inside of the Chaldean or all the entire alphabet, but there's a story and a reason for every one of these, and it's in a game. So what else are we going to do with this? Yes, so what happens is they remove the Q and the Z. Hold on, I have to put the focus on. So let me focus my camera. I can't see. Okay, so the value of the Q, okay, let's go to the, where's my, okay, the value of the Q is 17. Its alphabetic reverse is J10. The value of the Z is 26. When you add them together, okay, it equals to 43. Also noted as the letters of DC. C3, D4. You must turn this cube 180 degrees to get to them, and they are the center to the entire cube. 0.5 away from 4 and 0.5 away from 3 is the heart. 3 plus 0.5, 4 minus 0.5. 2 plus 1.5, 5 minus 1.5. 1 plus 2.5, 6 minus 2.5. Earth, Mars. What is 55? Is it Jupiter, Jupiter? Is it the half-life? It's an area space in between all 0.5s. So it shows you that 3 and 4 is existing in both of these. Here and here. Here and here. 0.5. The plus 1, Mars. The planet Mars is 51. The planet Earth is 52. And then you end up getting 512, 256, 128, 64. And the main gem is the RAM, 32 RAM. Or if you want, we can turn it into Mars. And the area space used is 1 through 5. And in between 1 through 5 is our 432 vibration. You want to go like that? 88. The 8th letter to 26th letter. So we find this over here. Now what's funny is Q is 1 plus 7 equals 8. And the Z, 2 plus 6 equals 8. If you multiply it, I get 12. If you multiply this one, I get 7. I get 15, and I get 20. Now I'm not sure if you saw at the beginning of the video that when you have 5 and 1, on the other side, you're going to have 2 and 6. Now, you know that when the 2 is here, whoop, let me see that again. How did I just make that mistake? The 2 and the 6, or the 5 and the 1, because one of them's got to be on its butt. That's the main source of, how can I explain it? That's the minimum and the maximum. The minimum and the maximum. The in-between is the 3 and 4, the DC house, the powerhouse. When you add 1 over to 5, it equals to 15. When you add 2 over to 6, it equals to 20. OT. When you count 1 over to 15, it equals to 120. When you add 1 over to 20, it equals to 210. Agenda 201, Agenda 120. When you count A through O and you count A through T, is also asking you what's your address, because that at is that at, and this is 1 and 20 is 21. And this is 1 and 15 equals to 16. We stand on 21 and we pull up to 16. This is the half-life. 91 is the spirit, 7 by 13. 61 is the church. 19 is, where was that 19? Right over here. That's the cube. It ends up to be the cube. AI, what is between A and I? Everything is between A and I. B and H, which is 2 and 8, and that's our cycle. And C, let me see, C and G, and that's our creation gateway. 3 and 7 come together. 3 and 7 equals 10, 1 plus 0 equals to 1. 2 and 8 equals to 10, 1 plus 0 equals to 1. This is the cycle of our moon. We end up starting this when we get over to 4th. That's when it begins. The polarities of each other. 3 polarity to 4. D, C. It's also house and planet. That word house and the word planet are both 68. Now, why do I say house planet? Because that's their value. Why do I call this? Because what happens is, how much is 43? How much is 33? Sorry about that. 34 and 34 equals 68. 43 and 43 equals 86. 33 and 33, and 33 equals 66. 44 and 44 equals 88. 3 and 3 is 6. 4 and 4 is 8. Now, what is this about? No, I'm not going to get to 3 and 8 yet. This one says teen. This is area space. This is the cube, 3 by 3 by 3. Why did I do this? It's because of these cubes. The invert of 6 and 2 is 5 and 1, 6. So when I said the minimum and the maximum, okay, when I said the minimum and the maximum, the 1 and 5 equals 6 is the minimum, and the 2 and 6 equals to the 8. And what's ironic is those are the, in the game of craps or on this dice, that is how the numbers stem out through the king 7, 7, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 7, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 7, 6, 9, 10. These two work together, these two work together, and these two work together. And it's not me, it's these dice, because we're going to do number 6, right? So we did, and by the way, this 5 and 1 comes together, and it's, you can use this as one of the words, and you can use this as one of the words. You can also use game and card. You know, when they ask you if you're on the ball, it's numeric value 27, the beta gates, right, to get into this house. So when you do that, you're going to also do what is 44. And we went over that 44 is the opposite of 33. And that total is 77. And just say matter is number 77. And what is it in Chaldean, the heaven's house? Oz, 77. And the next thing, what you're going to do is 4-3 or 3-4. This is going to be hot, and this is going to be cold. This is going to be 4 letters, but I don't know if I should I do the math? 4 by 8, 32. So it's 4.5 times 8. 8 by 5, 4.25. 4.25 equals 32, and this is going to equal 234. Now, hot is 3 letters. So you divide that by 3, and you get 14. So you get 14 times
3. Well, there's no, this has to be 8 and a quarter. I got that. Hold on a second. Can't do that. It's 4 times. Hold on a second. Let me fix this right. It's 4 times 8.5. 4 by 8 is 32. 4 by 5 is 2. Okay. Spirit matrix. That's the word. Also means number 2. Cold is also blue for boys. Hot is 3. So 3 times 14 is 42. I have to calculate that exact number. What is that exact number? 3 times what equals to 43? 3 times 14 is 42 and 1/3. So right away, I understand where hot is and where cold is. Cold is with 1/2, hot is with 1/3. The reverse alphabet of this is 81. So we're missing 38 equals to 81 square Venus. Also, we also know, again, that this is broken up into the world of 3s. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 equals to 2 equals to 1. 1 plus 2 equals to 3. And 8 is 22. This one's 11, and this one's 22. 2 times 2 equals to 4. 2 plus 2 equals to 4. 4 plus 4 equals to 8. So now we had 3 and 8 come together through 11 and 22, equaling to 33. Now that 33 can be found on here at 11 and 22 by taking a look at this. 11 and 22 is right in front of us. The reason for that is what I'm going to do is I'm going to say there's 1 dot. I'm just going to take out this. There's 8 around. So you have 1 and 8. I'm going to flip it over. If there's 1 on one side, the opposite side is 6. So I'm going to take out these 3 and these 3, and there's 3 left over. So you had 1 and 8, and you had 6 and 3. And the answer to this is 7, 11 equals to 18. 1 and 1 is 2, or ace 11, and you're in the house of Bait, in the Beta gates of house. Ra is in the house. And who's in the house at 18? 1 and 8. The one spirit enveloped in the heavens of 8, connected to the only 3 ways we can turn on the spindle of 6 sides. The spindle on the inside of this. Where are we? Where are we? So we have hot. So if we have hot, we have red. Now, red is not actually a girl, but it's noted as pink. So can we say the red devil? So we got the boy, but I actually got red, but I use red for woman. The numeric value for hot is 43 and cold is 34. 77 is the numeric value for matter. They are the inverted cube of 3 and 4 DC. And you'll see eventually that 3 and 4 is the invert of everything, the house of DC. Mars and Earth coming together. You also have to note that AB equals to C. When you add A, B, C together, it equals to 6. When you add D to it, it equals to 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1, and we start over again. So what I like to do is see if that's true. So I'll go A, B, C, D, and it works out. Unlike working that in a square, it's not the same thing. You notice we have the right and left angles over here, the right and the left angles. And then when you fill it in just a little bit better, you have the P. But then when you do the crossover, you end up designing R, and you put R and R together. This is the beginning of the letter A. So here's the letter R, and then the other way. And you have R the other way. It's R and R coming together. Then you have this design here. I forget where else this design goes. And Tav shows up within. So you have your
your left, your right and left angle triangles, and then you have your division or your eye in the center. And I'm not sure if you can go through this house. See the way you go through that house over here? They only give us the skeleton of all creation. Let me read that, and I'm going to come back to doing this, and I'm going to take a 1-minute break after this, after my last. Den of Thieves, dividend. Ah, I like that. Dividend, and DIVID is actually 500. I'm not sure how to do the calculation, but I'm going to give it to you direct that D in Roman numerals is 500. The I is 1, so you would now have 501. The V is 5, so you have 506. You have another I, so you have 507. And now you have another 500, so you have 1,007. You have the gateway. That's Q. 117 comes together. 1 and 7 comes together because 1 is coming together with the light. It's the only one on the cube that comes together. There is no other 7. There's a 7 void with 2 that comes in over here. Compare these two. Use the numbers off of here. See where in the calculator, the 0 is on this side, right? The point is over here. On the telephone, the 0 is in the center, and on the left is the pound, and on the left, whatever, the pound and the star. Well, the star is to connect your numbers, and the pound system divides your numbers. So the pound is Earth. They always say we live in the pound is Earth, and the star system is Mars. If you want to use it in the game, we can also look at Mars as being part of I like to call it the rat system, because what happened is Mars was a system, and they divided it up through Saturn. I mean, because if you take a look, or it's Saturn divided in Mars, because Saturn is the 6th planet, but Mars is everywhere. Mars is the 4th planet. And Mars, okay, Mars 4, and Mars 4. 4, 5, and 6, they all show number 4 on it, the Federation. So when you see that number 4, right away you're talking about D. So if you're multiplying D, 1 times 2 times 3 times 4, you got 24. 24 of what? Now, if you add it, 4 plus 3 plus 2, I don't need the 1 again. I'm not going to count it yet. 4 plus 3 plus 2 is your 9 birth, plus the 1 equals to your 10. You doubled up on the 2, you doubled up on the 1. So it equals to your 10. So that is your base creation. And then it's played out through Yo 11, 5 and 6, through alpha beta creation. This one over here. Created from these two worlds. Anyways, okay, let me get on to this next piece. I didn't really say anything in that last. Okay, so let me go down what I was at here. So now, what we're going to do next is we also have 4 and 2 6. So if you have your 2 and 4 6, you have to have your 5 and 3 8. So you flip these dice over, and you have 5 and 3 8. So now you know 8 and 6 are the opposite of each other, and you must lay 6. Here you can lay 5, and here you can lay 5. They ask you, right? They ask you if you want to lay I think it looks messy like this, but if you place 5 chips, you get back 9. Plus your 5 equals to 14. But if you put 25 here, okay, and pay $1 for it, 25 and $1, the day of creation, 9 to 5, E and I coming together. Here's where the moon comes together. Here's where the half-life enters into the house divided by the gate. Here's one area, and the 5 is the other area between 5 and 9. Here is the D. The 3 is craps, and 6 and 5 is not played.
I shouldn't do it this way. Now on the 6, it's 7 to 6, and the 5 is 7 to 5, and the 4 is 9 to 5. So if I play 5 chips here, 25, I'm going to get back $9, 9 times this number. So it's 5 by 9. I get back 45 is my profit for 5 times. But if I give them an extra dollar or an extra chip, right, and I put down 25, right, I put down 25 for this, but here I minus the dollar for 25. I'm going to get back 50. So I went up to the moon and I minus the dollar for 74. I end up with 74 here. I end up with 70 here. Here it's energy. Here it's Jesus. I'm just trying to understand what's going on, what the difference is. Here it gives me a straight fox pass. I don't have the center field. I don't lose the 10 yards in the center field. Half for you and half for me, the 10 yards that we need. I'm on my side of the field on Earth. I didn't have to minus 1 to get that 1 spirit from taking away from Earth 25 bet and getting 50 at the end. So if you want to look at this, should I be putting 49 down? My actual outcome is 49. Now, if I divide that dollar up into 25, I'm not even sure what that amount is. Something to do with number 4, if I guess right. But anyways, it seems like we were hijacked inside of this. And that's why we put up the extra buck to get into this realm. So if you place your bets over here, it's by 25s. I'm going to go by 5. Should I go by 3s, 4s, or 5s? The reason for going by, let me explain to you.
You have to go by all the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 and 1, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6, 5 and 5. If you want to count to another realm, if you want to count to the realm of 4, I'd like to, if I want to count to 4, I'll go 9 and 4, 13.
Running and understanding numbers, their positions and cycles, 9 and 2 equals to 11. 9 and 1 equals to 10. I haven't gone anywhere. 1 and 2 remain. 9 and 3 equals to 12. I now bring 1 and 2 together. Now here comes the polarity. 9 and 4 equals to 13. 9 and 5 equals to 14. 9 and 6 equals to 15. Now in the game of pool, this is over. So 9 and 7 equals to 16. And now 9 and 7, okay. And then 9 and 10 equals to 17. Here it's sweet. Here I'm at the gate and I have to stand. So where am I stand? Whoop, 9 and 8. I'm standing at the high heavens at the gate. Here it's my sweet 16. It's because it's my birth at the gate. Here it's at the 8th gate. 7th gate is inside the 8th gate. 7 and 8 right here. Or 2 and 1. 2 and 1. Why 2 and 1? On this one over here, there's 8 voided spaces. And on this one over here, there's 7 voided spaces. 7 voided spaces and 8 voided spaces. They combinate those and they use them here. And if you want to come into LA, you can laugh. 21. So this doesn't work out. It stops. In the game of pool, it stops over here. And life begins here and it ends here. The 9th birth and the 8th black ball. So that's that little thing. So we now, if we want to look at number 5, well, 2 and 3, 5. So if we have 2 and 3, 5, then we have 5 and 4, 9. No magic trick. 5 and 4, 9. 2 and 3, 5. Our candelabra works. So now if we want to go to the next one, we got that. So now we're going to go 6 and 3 is 9. and we'll flip it over, and we'll get 4 and 1 equals to 5. But with this area, we also have is 3, 6 void. And on this side, we have 5 and 8 void equals to 9 equals to 13. That is this scenario. Mars DC comes into this scenario. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 will give me two numbers. I use the star system math, which means I use the addition and the multiplication over each other. I create the octagon heaven. I do not have to use all 8. Remember, if you have 5 letters, you can use 4 or 3 letters if you're creating. In games that we play, they give you 5 cards. Sometimes you use them all at a time. Sometimes you make decisions one at a time. Sometimes whatever game you're playing. If you're playing Scrabble, they'll give you what, 7, 8 letters. You're not going to use them all at one time. You're going to use 3 of them, 4 of them. You're going to make the best word you can. Even when you look up online at words, they show you, look, with this word, I can make all these other words. So I'm taking all this information that's being done all over the world and installing it into recreating and understanding the skeleton alphabet, in which it all has to do with geometric shapes and colors. I use sports games for understanding rules and regulations. Let's say we'll use football. We have the 50-yard line and we have the 55-yard line. So I'll know the 50-yard line is like this, and the 55-yard line is like this, and the 50-yard line, no, the 50-yard line I think is like this, and the 55 is like this. Or is it the 55 that's like this, and the 50 is like this? Yes, you're meeting at the 5 point. The 0 means you're meeting on the outside. Do you follow what I'm saying? It's either here or the center is here. So on 55, here it is, and it's a shared center. But on the 50, it's not a shared center. Now, I'm going to say it the opposite. If it's on the 55, it's split directly to the left and to the right, because we're going to take out the 5 and 5 yards. And both teams get 50-50 is 100. But in reality, to create this game of 11, you need 55 and 55. 5 and 5 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 5 and 5 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. Creating your 11. Through 5, there is no other multiplication. You have 0, so it's going to be 5, and that's all it's going to be, because there's going to be no multiplication inside of this. 5 and 5 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. And also in the game of roulette, they show you a 0 and a double 0. Talking about 10s and talking about 1s. Talking about X and talking about I. The reason for that is X is 10, and I, as a letter in a Roman numeral, is 1. So it's either 9 or 11 on this side or this side of X. X also is going to be an association of Z and N combinating their 2 letters over each other, which will create a square box, as the Z will take up above and below, and the N will take up the 2 sides. That's where the pillars are going to be. So the N taking up the 2 sides, we're going to talk about the H. And the Z taking up above and below is going to be talking about the I. So Z26, okay, 2 and 6, 8 equals to what is I9, or equivalent, or in cahoots together. The N, which is the 14th letter, works with H. So it's H and N and I and Z. H and I, Heinz, if you take a look at it. So I went over this part over here. So you have your voided areas, and your voided areas is right here. If you look at this, the total of this is 13. If you look at this, the total of this is 9. There's as many voided areas as there are dots on 6 and 3. So 6 and 3 is actually 3663. It's actually perfect. And 336 days for the 12th moon. And that is also perfect. So when you're starting with 9, I know I'm a little bit all over, When you start with 9, that's the maximum, but you must come into the heavens for creation. This is the center, this is the middle when you use 9. So we actually have to use 3. So if you're using a minimum of 3, I must start with 7. And the highest we can go with 7 and 6 equals to 13. So I'm going to try and explain this. If our creation is 3, 1 plus 2 equals to 3, and you want to have the 360 degrees of your life, right? So what we do is we plant 3 and 7 is 10, 1 plus 0 is 1. I'm going to just make it small, and I put you here, and then you take your little instrument. Do I have the instrument with me? Oh, it's in the wall. And I take my little instrument, and I measure to the outside here, and I'm just going to do it with my pen. And once I measure to my outside, I'm going to have my 360 degrees, because I'm going to start here and here and here and here. So once I do that, I'm going to have here, and then I'm going to come here, and I'm going to have here and here and here. Although I'm inside of here, I get to move to all 4 of my corners, because there's a line, an area in between 4 areas. 4 pays 8 to 1. In between, it pays 17 to 1. And right on the spot, it's 35 to 1. To better understand, 35 to 1 plus the 1 chip of life. You got a chip on your shoulder. 35 plus 1, 36, 360 degrees. 1 and 35. 3 and 5 is 8. 1 and 8 come together. And again, 1 and 8 come together. R-A-H, Harry. Harry comes together, all about Harry. So where am I in this? Yes, so we'll be connecting our first, and let me get into another page to explain why I chose 6. You can choose 9. 7 and 9 equals to 16. 1 plus 6 equals to 7. You can choose 8. 7 plus 8 equals to 15. 1 plus 5 equals to 6. So you're coming into the same numbers again. Now I choose 7 and 7 equals to 14. 1 plus 4 equals to 5. And I'm not sure if you remember before, in blackjack, the rules and the regulations and the odds all start over here on 16. They call it a sweet 16. You know, you can have 9 and 7 or 8 and 8 into the house we're born. NGC Pegasus. 72, the house of bait. 86, at the gate in the house of bait. 36, your creation to the house of DC, half of each one of them in Zion, Israel. My bookends are 33. This mathematics will turn into 34, which will turn into AI. 6 times 4, 24. 6 plus 4, 10. Total is 34. 3 times 4, 12. 3 plus 4, 7. 7 and 12 equals to 19. AI within itself. So we did this over here. We came to this. Now we're going to go to 7 and 6 equals to 13. 1 plus 3 equals to 4. Now, the thing about this one here and this one over here is that we run those cycles, the 7 months of 31 days, the 4 months of 30 days, and the 1 month of 28 days. But if you really want to say this properly, and then this one is and then this one over here is just 1 times 28, and then just 1. But this goes for a cycle of 3 years. These all go for the cycle of 4 years. 4 years, the cycle. And this one switches. It goes 3 years and 1 year and 1 year and 3 years and 3 years and 1 year. 13, 31, 13, 31, 13, 31, 57, 75, 57, 75 times 13 equals 75, 0, 75 equals 12 and 40, 35 equals to 47 time energy. The numeric value of 57 is the moon. 75 is 75%, which is also noted as 3/4, can also be understood as DC. Its rotation, when you divide it by 3, it becomes 1.33. 4 divided by 3. Let me see, did I get that right? 1.333. 3 divided by 4 equals to 0.75. So we know our 1.33 is passing through the moon. DC, the house of DC. This is the numeric value for the moon, the energy and time. We also know that the 28, the numeric value 28, if you want to take a look at this, that 1776. But besides that, just give me a second. Orphan roulette. Seventeen 70. 17, here it's 34. Maybe if I click it. Can you see the 34? Can we see it on this one? Hold on, how about here? Wow. Hold on a second, let me fix this up. Let's see if I can see it anywhere. Okay. 17, 34 and 6, 57, 1, 21, 35, 66, 75. Why did the roulette wheel do this? Why did I figure it out? And all these numbers are positioned proportionately the way they should be. Then you can see on the inside of this is 25 and 22, 47. And the inside of this is 33 and, no, wait a second, 33 and 27, 60. Just trying to think what each one is. 17 and 6, 23, 10. Okay, anyways, I'm not going to get into that, but this, for me, tells me orphan children, Morpheus. 1776, 888, 592, 444, 2, let me see this. 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. 222. 1776 divided by 6 equals 296. 6, 14, 15, 16, 20, 26, 28. 15 and 9, 24, 28, 29, 30, 39. 2, 4, 8, 5, 13, 16. 7, 15, 20, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. 1, 3, 1. Man on the moon, 131, 13, 31. 1 and 1 in the bookends, 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 equals 2, 2 equals to 1 equals to what is 3? 1 and 1 on the bookends, but 1 in the center. So when we total this out, I have another word that I really like to use, and the word is Einstein. Because he told us that it's relative, meaning coming from within, right? It's a relative. So 5 and 9 equals to 14, and 14 equals to 9 and 5. Those are the letters in his name. And S and T, when you add them together, it equals to 39. 5 and 9 is 14, and 14 is 28. 39. 28. The answer to 1776 is relative, and Einstein is one of the words. E and I and N to understand this word, knowing that this is first, this is gold, this is in the center of all. Gold is a division of 3. I have to explain that now. It's first, it's gold. It brings the heavens together, divided by 3. Why does it do that? Let me redo my mind for a second. Because the word club is also number 38. 11 and 22 is what creates it mathematically. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 is 1 and 2 equals to 3. KC, like Kansas City. All around Kansas City. Okay, there's Highway 70 in Kansas City. There's a few numbers. I forget what I was working on. Oh yes, Missouri, Mississippi. When you come in with this right away, there's a connection to Mars. And when you use the letter M, it has to do with the Federation, 4, 5, and 6, the Mars Federation, 10, 10, 10. M is a Roman numeral 1000, 10 times 10 times 10. So we're talking about mirror, mirror, mirror. 22 is 2 times 2, 2 plus 2 will equal to 8, and your first 2 letters in the word church. And the letter that goes with it is V. So we did this piece. Another word that fits with this is Neptune. Neptune, okay, is 19 or AI on each end. And then and in between the Neptune is 50. Did I get this right? 36, 46 is 57. 57, 67, 76, 86, 95. The numeric value for Neptune is 95, and it's talking about energy in the moon, male and female. Energy on the moon, AI, showing 2 moons, repeating in each other. The numeric value for Einstein, 28, 39, 28, equals to 95. The numeric value for 1776, 28, 39, 28, the same thing. Now, how can we get that number? Can we get it through the number of time, which comes from the number 57, the moon? 7 times 5, 35. 7 plus 5, 12, the numeric value for time. So what does this mean? Well, 4 times 7, 28. 28. 4 plus 7, 11. 11 and 28, 39. Einstein said it was relative. If you have any questions, ask me. I'm going to take a little bit of a break because the information just does not stop. There's a lot of pieces and parts that fit together over and over. You just keep repeating them, and over time, and there's different formations to put them in. The Mayan showed me to understand to connect 13, in which I didn't finish. I'm going to finish that part first. Why it was 13. 13 is Mars, 7 is the gateway, 1 is the spirit in between them all, at the gate, at the Holy Ghost, the empty space, the dark. Where it's dark, you feel the dark with energy because nothing is void. You feel the void. So through this, I use 7 and 13. I'm going to show you because imagine all these numbers are void, and I'm just using them so you can understand. If I tell you hook this wire up at number 7, you're going to hook the wire at 7. Now the value of that wire, you're going to fill it in with number 7 is being used for a numeric value because when you talk in computer language, it's all numbers. But I'm going to say this is for the fan. I need to connect 7 and 3 for the fan. And then when I turn on the switch, the 5 will go and connect with it. We'll get the energy to run on through it. So the on and the off is number 1, is the way I understand it. For many reasons, there's nothing on the number 1. And when it's replaced on the ATM by the Z and the H, and also in the roulette, number 1 is 2 different colors. It interchanges between black and red. And I also like to note is what happens to number 1. Either it interchanges or we have 2 straps. And until the 2 of them connect together, both sides,
It doesn't enlighten. Another thing for 1 and 1 is one can be up, the other can be down, twisted. This side and this side, the dark side and the light side, 1 and 1. Or it can be when it's, okay, not going to get into that because I'm still questioning some of that artwork. So we saw what number 4 and 7 does. Now we can broaden this, that when 7 and 4 come together, as we already spoke about, right? 11, 11, 4 and 7, 3 and 8. So if we want to find 4 and 7 and 3 and 8, here we have 4 voids, and here we have 8 voids. So it's on Mars that I find it, 5 and 1. I know the invert is the queen, 2 and 6. That is our base creation, alpha beta creation, 1 and 2, created in 3, that when it comes up this way, okay, 5 and 6, 1 and 2 equals to your 3. That is your base creation. My computer, I don't know, just the computer just went a little wacky just now, and it broke my thoughts. So where was I? So we did the Mayans, yes, the Mayans. So with the Mayans is they use number 7. So they'll use 1 and 6, 7, or they'll use 3 and 4, 7. See the angle over here? I don't know what angle this is that we run on. I'd like to know that angle. So we do 3, 4, or 1, 6. The other one they work with is number 13, 7 and 6, 13, or 9 and 4, 13. So that's my crisscross, the gearing system in the Mayans. I don't know if I have it here. I don't have it. I wish I did. Let me see if I got it online somewhere. Hold on. Just give me a second. Oh yeah, here I got it. Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And here it's 2 lines and 3 dots. So it's 5, 5, and 3. And then over here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I get this understanding through this, okay? And then I see it over here. Again, I see it over here. And then there's let me see. No, not that one. Hold on a second. And then there's this see-through window. So what this is that I connected 1 and 6, and then I connected, hold on a second. I'm going to say I connected 7 and 6 and 4 and 3. So I connect, actually this is 1 and 6, and this one is 4 and 9, 1, 6, 4, 9. And then when I connect them, this is what it looks like. And we skip one area over here because when you get to number 10 is not like number 1. It becomes a red and a black. These are blacks. 20. I know this is where number 28 is because there's only one of them. And I know number 10 is here because there's only one of them, right? I know 1 is red here. So these two I'm connecting together, right? But in this area over here, where 10 comes together with 16. So it's a red and a red comes together over, a black and a red comes together over here. In this one over here, this one comes together. Did I say that right? 4 and 9 come together. Hold on a second. No, I'm not connecting. Sorry, the A is up here. This is D. D4, and because this is a black, and I'm not connecting the 2 blacks together because this A turns black. This one is red and black. This one here is red and black. You see, if I put, when you're piecing something together, for it to fit together properly, you can't have the same form, right? Somehow you can't have that same form to put them together. So we did the understanding the 7 and the 13, and 13, 1 and 3 equals to 4. So again, we're back down to the 7 and 4 and 1 cycle. It is the one element of the 7 and 4. And 4 and 7 is time. 74 is energy. 74 is Jesus. 74 is created through the numeric value of what is the moon. And the numeric value for Mars, number 51, the reverse alphabet. What I mean, the reverse alphabet is every single letter, when you reverse it, M, the reverse is N is the 14th letter, M is the 13th. Together they make number 27. The entire alphabet is 27. That in-between alphabet is 1, 3, and 5. The in-between alphabet, meaning between 13 and 14, is 13.5. M, 13, 5E, you can say matter and energy. And again, we're back to 13 and 5, and 13 are 1 and 3, A and C, AC, and then 3 and 5, ACE. At the same time, S19, 1 plus 0 is 1. U21, 2 plus 1 is 3. And N14, 1 plus 4 is 5. The sun says ace. The sun is divided. The ace is also, as I see it, as a skeleton, is showing you the hinds. H is showing you the hinds. It's showing you the hinds. You have the A letter, right? And at the same time, it's showing you separation. It's showing you height and separation. And then there's a division with inside of it. So as you do this, okay, as you do this, you get the letter N. And if you want to turn it sideways, you get the letter Z. The same way for the cube. It's here and it's here. So I'm showing you both sides. But if you do it fully, that you put N and Z together, you will end up doing this. And this is going to be HINZ. In this word over here, I should just take out the bottom. HINZ, Heinz, 57, 8 and 9 and 14 and 26, 17, 31, 41, 51, 57. So where's Mars? Well, the letter M is reverse N. The letter A is reverse Z. The letter R is reverse 9. The letter S is reverse H. You can also say RAM if you want. You can say scrams. You can say sham. So this is Mars. Comes together at numeric value 51. There are 4 letters. 4 by 27 equals to 108. 3 by 17. 3 by 19. And where's the other one? This equals to 51, and this equals to 57. And this would be 3 and 3 equals to 3 times 36, 108. 6 and 3. Your Mars is your creation on this basis. The one spirit of 8 that comes in. 18. It's almost like saying the 1/3 I happens times 3. So you end up with 18. 3 times 6. You end up with 3 cubes equals to what is 18. Then you have 3 plus 6 equals to I9 equals to 27, creation in the house of Beit. So it becomes the third Reich. So you have to multiply it by 3. So you have Resh. In Hebrew, the R is a Resh. So you have the third I Resh.
and the polarity is the Fourth Reich. You have the Third and the Fourth Reich, so they're polarities to each other, 3 and 4. And that's the house of DC, the house planet. What didn't I do here? There was a whole lot more to do, but I think 2 hours is enough. If you have any questions, lay them on me now. Write to me. You want to help out the channel, that is just fantastic. So I can sit here. It'd be nice to create a program and put all of this together, because I can see it like it's just oh yeah, here's more stuff that goes with that. This entire wheel was put together perfectly. I just have to understand the numbers just a little bit more. Oh, Shabbat Shalom. Yes, Shabbat Shalom. So even in the word Shabbat Shalom, I'm just trying to look at, like, bot is like robot. Shab is inside that word. Hab is in the word, and backwards it's habs. It's ba ba ba. T and O, OT. When you bring the OT together, you're bringing the pool table and the dartboard. The pool table and the dartboard come together. The dartboard starts at Venus. The pool table starts at Mars. It starts at Mercury. And the reason for that is because the 1 and the 5 are on one side, and the 2 and the 6 are on the other. Those are your 2 5s. 1, 2, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or you start at 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or the 6, right? And then you don't count the thumb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you have to go to the other hand. And by the way, 3 and 8, this is the 8th finger. 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the 8th finger. 5, 6, 7, 8. If I want to count my toes, right, I'm going to go 5, 10, 13. I count my toes, 5, 10, 15, 18. The house of the Third Reich. And I believe that in the system that we're in, if this is all true to the entertainment that we run, right? And don't forget, the characters that we watch on TV only have 4 fingers, right? Marge, or how about Mars G, Gateway of IE, Margie, Mars Marijuana 420, 9 Lives of the Cat, and the pound key on Earth. Bad to the bone. Shabbat, Shabbat, ABB, Abbott, Abba. So T and O, right, are both Mars and Venus. Mars is O, and Venus would be T. And you're counting T minus, time out. T minus coming from Venus. I'm not sure if you can understand me, because we can only count with 5, and then we switch. The other one is hands down. Bart and Marge, yes. Bar, T. Bar the T. When you talk about bar, you're talking about barring the T gate. T minus counting, countdown, 10, 9, 8. They don't count down from 20, and T is the 20th letter, but it's used as the 7th letter when you're in gematria, counting as 7 using the scale that I have shown you. So Bart is exactly that. And you're barring the gate, because bar, B-A-R, in the game of craps, you're barring 66, you're barring 12, you're barring creation. So you might be barring recreation. I watched this gentleman named something Win today. Let me take a look. I think he's like the most amazing guy in the world, because I understand exactly what he's saying. I just can't remember it all. Just 1 second. I'm going to show you who the guy is. Here it is. This right here. This right here. This is this guy. You listen to this guy. Oh my God. This guy is insane. Windows and Windows, right? Windows and Windows. Where am I? See, I'm going to move my hand. Watch this. I move my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Close. Open. Close. Open. So I move this here. I move it once. You see, they say the star system light continues. So that's proof right here. So when you do it often, what happens? Night comes, or is it day? When it stays in your way all the time, is it night or day? The faster it flickers, or the slower? Night, day, night, day, night, day, and it moves on in your mind. Yeah, oh, the guy is amazing. The guy's amazing. He says it right. If you take a look at the flag that they're in the parliaments or in at the house in the White House there, they have frills all the way around because we're on a space ship. Although it might seem large to you, what do we know of life? You only know what you know, and you don't know, and sometimes you can't imagine unless you create an imagination. There's a lot of math. Would you like the reverse of 365 days a year? Let me just show you this for a second. This one over here, I like to look at it as 365 days, 0.47 energy time. The other world is 128, 125, Earth, Mars, coming to the high house. And this one over here, it's 32, 58, 325.87 at the gate. 1 and 4 on one side, 6 and 9. So we're at the rotation. And this one, here we're not running the same cycle. Let me write that down. Let me write that down and show. 365.47 over 120, 125, 89, 11 and 11, 22 and 3, 25, 9 and 8, 17, and 5, 22, 25, 7 and 8, 15, 20, 25, 25. It's all 25. On this side, okay, on this side it's 9. On this side it's 11. On this side it's 3. On this side it's 17. So this becomes 3 and 8. What becomes 9 and 2? So this is 9 and 2, and this is 3 and 8. And this one is 5 and 6. And this one is 5 and 6. So this one is 5 and 6, 11 to 9 and 2, 11 to what is 3 and 8, 11. We're not going to count this number over here. 9 and 6 is 15. Plus 4 is 19. Plus 1 is 20. 5 plus 15 is 20. 3 plus 17 is 20. 9 and 11 is 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, and 25. The Fox Pass. We're not going to count this. So there's two different systems going on right over here. This is the Star of David, by the way. 2 crowns, the Star of David. When you complete the Star of David, it looks completely different, but this is the outline of the Star of David. So the Star of David is showing you a little bit more dimension. Just trying to see how we can. You notice the way I have to do this, right? It's not the same thing as over here. I'm not sure if you can see that area space, what's going on. You see, I can't do anything because once I come here, I can't stop until I get over here. So here I can go from corner to corner. It's the builder's code. And this is basically what's happening with the Star of David. So if you take a look, right, it almost looks like, I'm not sure if I was supposed to run this one down this way. No, that's not right. It would be running this way. Hold on a second. Yeah, it would be more like this one. And then there's, you would be entering this way. If I didn't put this X in the center, I would be entering here. And then I would be entering here. So you'd be entering this way and this way. And see the way the river is over here? And this one goes underneath. And then there's the split side over here. That's the way I see it. But that's the Star of David. But it's just not finished.
Cash registers. Oh boy. I can't do grammar either. In fact, grammar is spelled with an A because that's a word today I just learned, right? So when it's AR, it's not the same as ER. The AR, what does it mean, A versus E, right? A is the split world. You know both sides, but the E, you don't know both sides. It was like a recreation. Yes, Space Pie. This is Gelato, Refram, Riffraff, Star Bars, Tender Bars, Cash Register. Trust we got in. Trust we. You know, when you say trust we got in, I'm thinking of trust we got in, because, or forgotten. The word D, the letter D, is not always sounded properly, depending. Like, I have a very rounded speech, and when I say things, they sound round, so you don't hear them squarely. So sometimes I talk with a little bit of a different voice, and sometimes I like using voices. If I hear a voice that I like, I'll use it if I can form my vocals to it. We talk into the speaker. I know because you can hear me. So when you can hear or feel the vibration, but maybe you don't understand or actually listen to the words I speak. So now we have the receiver and the transmitter. In order to receive, we need to transmit. Transmit, receive, hear, speak. So then we would use tongue if we want to speak with our tongues. But okay, 40 hertz. So yes, so when we're bringing numbers together, right? I was talking about 1 and 5, right? I'm a little tired. Maybe I'll just take a little break. When I have to bring these, I have to bring 1 and 9 equals to 1. 1 and 3 equals to 4. And 1 and 6 equals to 7. This is my base vibration. If we're talking about 2, okay, I need 2 and 8 equals to 1. Then I need 2 and 2 equals to 4. And I need 2 and 5 equals to 7. This is the cube. All I need to do is work with these two here, this one and this one, 2 and 8 and 3 and 9. So now in the next house, right, that I was speaking about is 2 and 6 equals to 8. That's this one over here. And the other is 1 and 7 equals to 8. So we have QH and we have ZH. And it's ironic, okay, that they brought the Q letter, okay, on the ATM. They put the Q at the Z equaling to 43. And its singularity is 88 over to what is 73. The math. Here is a 26 letter, 2 times 6, 2 plus 6 equals 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 2 plus 6 equals to 8.
The other one is 1 times 7, 1 plus 7. The leftover is 7. So 7 and 3 is bringing both of these together. The polarities are the difference between the Q17 and the Z26. Between 17 and 26 is going to be 18 through 25. So you're going to have R and Y coming together. So if you see the end of a word ending with RY, you're going to understand that the sun comes into the heaven of Resh, in the house of Beit. Earth. Earth is number 25. 18. Hara. So I have to understand that. I think it goes to Aries. I think 18 works with Aries. One of the reasons for that is when you add up 1 to 18, it equals to 19S, which has AI fabricated within as you go A over to R. So it says arrays inside the word. And the numeric value for Aries is 19 and 9. These two come together. A and E come together. It's perfect. 19 and 5, 24, 34, 44. Did I get that right? 18, 19, 28, and 5 is 33, 43, 52, the numeric value for Earth. Let me do that again. Is that the way you spell Aries? 19, 28, and 5, 33. And 19, 28, and 23 is 51, 52. Okay, I just want to make sure I got that right. So we got Aries coming out of this. So when 88 comes together, when Aries comes in, that's what we get in that zodiac sign. 99 reboot, 88, 888, God brain, cachet. Yes, that's another word. CH, absolutely, very good. I like that. C3, H8, 11, 22, hockey, on ice. So you have cachet. Then French, the H is ash. It's also H. So you have the C. You can also have Sich, or I don't know if this comes together, Koch. But I like to put together cachet. The A coming in the E, making the A soft. AE equals to Mars coming together. One of them could be sauce. One. The A is also inside the E. Anyways, that's it for now. There's I'll probably never stop. So if you have any questions, you want to send me an email. If you want to help out the channel some way, let me know. I'd like to be able to just sit here and do this all the time. Like I've said 1,000 times before, create a program and get all this information in it, and to understand if it makes any sense, because it definitely all works out. We haven't done hockey divisions, baseball divisions, time of play, football and soccer, card games. It doesn't matter what it is. If it exists and you set it, it matches something else and it's going to give formation. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. If you just want to, if you've never been here before and want to take just a quick look, looks even better when it's upside down. And then I don't have the whole floor out here. How come I can't see that? What's happening? This is just part of the floor. And then okay, we're going to end the video. I want to thank you for being here. Oh boy, what's that? Happy weekend, Dr. Takpans. Oh, we're going to do this, my friend. The vibration is in the air. We all connect somehow. We have to be positive about this. We can't be afraid, because this is not the end of the line. I don't want to say this, but does anybody know what this is? These are called die.
So if you throw away a die or somebody does, this is just a disconnect so you can reconnect to where you were meant to be. And it wasn't here. This might be here either by thievery or by choice. You checked off all the boxes when you gave the griffe. The griffe is French for clause. So you gave the placenta in the birth, and they sent you to the place, PLACA, into the cycle of the sun, of the half-life, PNL, 16 and 12, 28. When you gave the griffe and the placenta, you signed the placenta clause. Santa Claus. 77 and 33 is Christ. Santa, SANTA,
is where the end ends up like this. So you're basically with SAN. Now I have to pull this together. I know this part can be noted as Mars. And from Mars, you were sent. Numeric value for Mars in the E world, 1 times 4, 1 plus 4, through the passage of the sun, through the DNA. This is where AI comes in, again, through Mars. All the Mars system, it just keeps repeating the Mars system. 19, 20, 34, 44, 54, 55. 19, 20, and 14 is 34, 44, 54, 21, and 14. 35, 36, and 19. CLAUSE. 312. Clause. The clause. 5, 24, 34, 45, 46, 50, 60, 78, 61. Church. 116. I'm trying to see what this tells me. 6 and 2. That's the world we came into. Santa Claus. The reverse. There's a reverse alphabet for this, but with this one, the reverse to the 7th gate is 22. The reverse to the 7th gate is 61. 83. In the creation heaven, Santa Claus. And everybody, you got a sock representing the soul on the fireplace. But anyways, I'm just talking out of my matter of matrix. Jesus saves. Santa Mars. Yeah. Santa Mars. Santa Mars. Yeah, absolutely. Sent from Mars. Pluto and angular potato. Pluto and Mars, our birth is Pluto. That's why you don't see it. Our birth is Pluto. It's hidden right there. Pluto inside the dark space. Pluto platonic relationships, friendly. So yes, we can go on and all, but oh, it'd be nice to be on an island somewhere next to a beach doing some yoga, listening to good tunes, and working together on this, emanating out the true vibration so that we can break the spell. Thank you for watching this video. Peace and love.